Julian Greeding here from Bellingham Ford Lincoln with some exciting news. The order banks have opened for the 2023 models and we have great deals for you. Ford F-150, Bronco Sport or Ranger, and we will lock in your price, lock in your 500 rebate and lock in your interest rate at 2.9 for 60 months on approval of credit. Custom build the vehicle you want and don't worry about price increases or rate hikes. Come see us at Bellingham Ford Lincoln on 1820 James Street or at bellinghamfordlincoln.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Pain in the Grass is back. It's the biggest rock festival in the Pacific Northwest, and we are really making it super big this year. 3 days over Labor Day weekend.
And like we mentioned earlier this morning, it's National Bourbon Day, and what better way to celebrate National Bourbon Day than buying tickets to see the man who wrote really the greatest song about bourbon, and that's George Thorogood.
Hard to argue that.
Yep, he's going to be playing on the Sunday of Labor Day weekend along with Sammy Hagar and the Glorious Sons. That's going to be a fun show. Queensryche as well. But, man, I'm excited about Saturday, too, BJ. We got Breaking Benjamin, which we played earlier this morning. Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Bush.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Jones, our friends Wyatt Only in the Wreckage. It's going to be a great show.
That Saturday show's going to be great. Friday is also pretty good with Incubus, man.
They don't suck.
No,
I've seen them live so many times, and they never disappoint.
So lots of great bands. Lots of great bands. You can check out the lineup at KISW.com. Also, there's an August 31st pre-show at the Pretty Reckless, and Aaron Jones.
Yep.
He's playing twice for Pain in the Grass.
Double duty.
And that's at the Moore Theater, that location. Tickets on sale right now at Ticketmaster. Also, $9.99 lawn seats are available for Friday and Sunday show if you're a Rockaholic Club member, which, by the way, it's free to join the Rockaholic Club, so do that. And don't forget the BJ and Migs party. We got tickets available for that as well. All of the info at KISW.com.
Let's play B Migs. It's time to play the jam. Yeah.
For Beat Megs. It is Tuesday, so let's turn down for Julio Julio.
I made. Oh, that was weird.
Hey, wow.
Julio!
Yeah, Julio.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Hopefully that'll be how it is tonight.
Hey, if it's crazy and he gets a home run, that'd be pretty amazing.
Be nice. They need to win. They need to win, BJ.
They need something.
They need to win against those Twins.
Is the season still cool? Like, have we totally given up yet? Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean,
there's still a lot of time.
Yeah,
Okay.
there really is. The Yankees seem like, should we keep playing? That's just how good that team is right now. They're just so much better than I think almost everybody.
Oh, that's got to be great for you then.
Yeah, it's horrible. It really, really is. I mean, almost every facet of the game the Yankees are good in. And so,
holy smokes, I didn't even look at what their record was because they've won, 9 of the last 10, and they're 44-16.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're out of control. It's one of the best seasons. We'll see. I mean, could they rival the Mariners, 116 game win? We'll see. I mean, they're just,
Dude, no other team has the losses in the teens. Everyone else has over 20 losses.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
They look pretty decent.
Yeah, it's the AL East is insane right now because all 3 wildcard teams are from the AL East, and of course the Yankees are the best team in the American League, baseball for that matter. It's right now you just wonder if you're in the Central or you're in the West. Should you bother?
This is just time to give it up. Wow.
Yeah.
At least we're better than the Oakland A's.
Woo! That's the party right there.
That's all we got.
Silver linings, everybody.
But again, we haven't even hit the All-Star break. We're not at the halfway point of the season, so there's still hope. There always is hope.
Let's get to our contestants today. We've got George in Bothell. George, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning, crew.
Good morning.
Good morning, Georgie.
All right, Steve, get out of here. For those playing at home, George will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. George, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What country provided most of the settings for the Lord of the Rings movies?
New Zealand.
Yes. Which classic book inspired the name of Starbucks?
Pass.
Pete Conrad was the 3rd astronaut to do what?
Walk on the moon.
Yes. What kind of fruit juice is used to mix a pina colada?
Pineapple.
Yes. In what early 90s year was Magic the Gathering first released?
91, 92, 93.
93, yes. In 1992, which band recorded the song Killing in the Name?
Rage Against the Machine.
Yes. What is the name for a meteor that hits the surface of the Earth?
Pass.
In Fight Club, Tyler Durden steals fat from liposuction clinics to make what?
Soap.
Yes. What term applies to space devoid of matter?
Black hole.
No.
Pass.
The first
Star Wars.
no. The first Austin Powers movie came out in what late 90s year?
99.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct.
Ooh, some of these questions, man. I'm trying to think. I'm racking. I can't get them.
Really? That's fun.
I feel like I should know them too.
See, those are the questions I love the most. The ones that bother you because you feel like you should know them.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh.
And usually Steve is the one who guesses those correctly, and then you're just a little mad about it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You predicted the entire situation, and I'm not happy.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Steve can get a win here and not a tie like earlier.
That was tough. I got 9 right and still didn't win.
I know.
Hurt.
Are you ready?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
What country provided most of the settings for the Lord of the Rings movies?
Australia.
No.
Oh. Damn it. Canada?
No.
Oh.
Canada.
England.
No. What classic book inspired the name of Starbucks?
Moby Dick.
Yes. Pete Conrad was the 3rd astronaut to do what?
I'm going to guess Walk on the Moon.
Yes.
Oh, that sucks for him. No one ever talks about it.
I know, right? What kind of fruit juice is used to mix a pina colada?
You like pineapples.
Yes. In what early 90s year was Magic the Gathering first released?
Early 90s?
Yeah.
91.
No.
90.
No.
92.
No. In 1992, which band recorded the song Killing in the Name?
Oh, Rage Against the Machine.
Yes. What is the name for a meteor that hits the surface of the Earth?
Oh, my God. An asteroid.
No.
Oh, crap. A meteor shower.
No.
Meteoroid.
No. In Fight Club, Tyler Durden steals fat from liposuction clinics to make what?
Soap.
Yes. What term?
Crap, I shouldn't have talked about it.
What term applies to the space devoid of matter? Anything, Steve? Anything?
Nothing.
I got nothing.
No, you got nothing. 1, 2, 3,
if I just stay silent, I haven't guessed yet.
5. You lose 6-5.
Nice work, George.
Wow.
Wow, thank you. That was nervous.
Man.
Antimatter.
Yeah.
No, it's not antimatter.
Is it void?
No, it does start with a V, though.
Oh, Velcro.
No, to either of you.
Volvo?
Yes,
Volva.
exactly. No,
it.
Yes.
Vortex?
No.
Oh, good call.
Varney.
Varvignugan.
This is fun.
Yeah.
This is
Vanellope.
Vanellope. Von Schmidt.
section.
No. No. Vacuum.
Vacuum.
I'm gonna stop letting you guys guess V words before it gets too
vacuum.
bad.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna go there.
That's the one I should have known.
Well, congrats,
dang it.
George. You still got the
Yeah.
win.
Nice work, George. Oh, well, you know what? Because George got the win, I still do get this, which is nice.
Yep.
Look at that.
I think Wordle's helping everybody because you did come up with a lot of V words out there. So congrats on that, at least. New Zealand was the most of the settings for the Lord of the Rings movies. So you're super close when you said Australia, but can't let you have it.
No, you're right.
93 you figured out was for Magic the Gathering because you guessed everything else around it.
Yep.
And you were really close when it came to the name for a meteor that hits the surface of the Earth. It's not meteoroid.
Meteor shower?
Meteorite.
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 I was meteor wrong.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
Sorry. Yes, you were, and sorry for your loss.
Damn it.
Oh, so sorry about that.
You don't sound very
Makes
sorry.
me sad. Damn it. Yeah, the vacuum. I knew I would know that one. All right. Hey, there's a new term going around, and, we all know about mansplaining,
Yes.
and you knew at some point people would continue to use splaining as a way to just say, hey, dude, stop trying to sound like you're smarter than everybody in the room. Don't blank splain me. And now the new one is rich splaining, which, boy, oh boy, it's not a good look if you are caught rich splaining, especially with the way life is going now economically.
I'll never be guilty of doing that to anyone.
Yeah,
Right.
it is rich splaining.
What about
is when-
broke splaining? Can I do that?
You can do broke splaining.
Okay, good.
Though I think the rich splainers will tell you how wrong you are for broke splaining. Because that's a big part
I can
of
tell
rich
you how to
splaining.
make poor financial decisions. I'm your guy.
Hey, you're the guy right there.
And I won't even make you feel guilty for it.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
buddy.
Buy that hat.
Yeah, do it.
Fine. I
Yeah.
will.
There's it's very interesting when people who are successful forget what it takes to get there and just make it sound easy. Or don't have any empathy for somebody who's really struggling. And so that's what rich splaining is when wealthy people give wildly out of touch money advice to poorer people, where your advice just can't help them. You just don't understand.
Because you're out of touch. You're out of touch. It's
Yeah.
funny. I saw this recently. I think it was yesterday or the day before on Twitter. There was people were sharing and quote tweeting this tweet about someone. I was like, rich people, if you give them $50,000 they invested. The difference between them and poor people is you give them $50,000 and they'll spend it. And people are like, well, yeah, they're poor. They need to pay their bills. Mm-hmm. They're going to use the money to take care of debt and problems. And it's like, there's that argument, like where it's like, okay, well, you're out of touch. You don't know what it's like to not have money to pay all of your bills every month.
Do they understand what the word poor means? When they even poor means you don't have enough to make your ends meet.
It's like $50,000 is a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're making ends meet, if you're living, to the point where, yes, I can support myself, then if you spend that $50,000, you're kind of an idiot. But if you're not able to make ends meet and you are in debt, that's what poor means. And it's so out of touch.
So it's just funny to see
tone
that.
deaf. Yeah. I like this one because, the folks are saying, here's things that were said to me as they were being rich splained. And that is, poor people just need to swallow their pride and ask their parents for money.
I wish my parents had money.
Exactly. It's like, are you aware that generations are suffering of trying to make ends meet? Parents would love to be able to help out their kids, but some of them really can't.
No, hit my parents say, can you pay for the rest of my mortgage, please? I never thought to ask.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
have to.
Yeah. Can you buy me a new car?
And I love this.
Hybrid, please.
This sounds very new agey to me. I understand, there's a whole book about mindsets and everything. But when you tell somebody who really does, who's got issues with cash, well, you have a scarcity mindset. You should just have to think more positively and you'll be fine. Oh, really?
The hell does that even mean? A scarcity mindset?
It just means that you're negative you're a negative thinker when it comes to, I guess, money and resources. You always feel, you think like I'll never have enough. And if you stop thinking that way, then you'll have more than enough.
You can manifest money out of thin air.
Have you put $100 bills on your vision board?
Hey, Rev, that's one of them. You manifest the reality around you. Yeah. It is so tone deaf. It is so freaking tone deaf.
But it's funny, though. There are times where I hear someone say all that. Like, I read this book about, it changed the way and you hear them talk about it, you're like, this doesn't work. But then you see that this person's life has changed for the better. I'm not saying that this is one of those instances, but it's always funny when our first instinct is like, ugh, you and your catchphrases. And then you hear someone actually talk about how a certain book or a certain philosophy changed just the way they are. And it seems very new agey. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm just, maybe I shouldn't be so quick to judge those things. I'm not saying these seem very, okay, I have a lot of money. Have you ever thought about asking your parents for more money? It's like, well, no, my parents don't have the money but thanks for that invite.
Steve,
your parents give me money.
You make a good point. You make a good point that, yeah, sure. A lot of the books and even some of the things they say when they're rich splaining, they are relevant. But the one thing I learned in therapy, which is that when you are in crisis, the therapist says that they just do what they have to do to get you through the crisis. And then once you feel better and you feel normalized, the therapist always said, now the real therapy begins.
Okay.
Because then you can apply all of those things about what's your mindset, what's this. But if you're in crisis, none of that, you can't do that right now. You're like, so if you have no money, there's no way all the financial tips in the world are going to help you in all the mindset changes. You have to be pretty much nurtured through that crisis. Someone has to get you out of there first. So that's why they're so tone deaf. It's like, hey, Rich Ricky, you don't understand.
That's Richie Rich.
Yeah, they can't do it right now.
Right.
And, that's just therapy 101. You can't therapize somebody if they're in crisis. You just got to get them out of that crisis first. Then you can do the work as far as how your mind is and all that.
That'd be great if you're in the middle of a crisis. I was like, have you thought about reading the book, Go F Yourself? And you're like, not right now, go F yourself.
Of course, I will say this to all of you on the show. If you have any money issues, all you have to do is just lay off the Starbucks and the avocado toast and you'll be just fine.
Oh, my gosh. You could afford a house if you didn't need takeout all the time.
I know.
Dude, I'm guilty of that, though, to myself. Whenever there had been a couple of times where I'm like, oh, crap, we're check the check. Like, what's going on? And my first thought was, we need to drink less coffee. Not any of the other things that we're spending ridiculous amounts of money on. But to me, what will fix our problems is that cup of coffee we get every couple of days.
Yeah. You know what?
That's it. No more coffee, babe.
And Steve, just work harder and invest every extra dollar you have.
I am.
Yeah.
To the moon.
Yeah, which, by the way, I mean... when we talked to Todd Peach, how many people don't have an emergency fund? So you can't even invest money because you probably don't even have an emergency fund, which is not even about investing. That's just about, hey, have some over there in case something happens. That's not even investing. And they're so out of touch, these rich people. I mean, it really is just, so rich-splaining is a thing.
I'm glad that you stay in touch with your $12 million that you have on net worth.
Have you checked lately? Because
No.
I feel like, honestly...
I did yesterday.
The stock market took a big hit again, and they're saying pretty much it's bear time. So I may be in trouble. My net worth might be $10.
Yeah, it looks like it dropped. Oh, it's up to 10 million now.
Yeah, it is 10, but not $10, BJ. 10 million.
I don't understand it. When we were, when the stocks weren't plummeting, I was at 800,000. Something I did put me down to 800,000 net worth.
But you went up to 16 million.
Yeah.
And now you've dipped.
Well, again, it is a bear market. So
And yesterday you were down to 7 million. Did you just...
see how much money I'm
fair
losing
market.
and gaining every day?
What are you doing every day? You got to drink less coffee, BJ.
Yeah.
that's what
Spending
it
too
is.
much on
But
Starbucks.
But I made $3 million yesterday to today, buddy. I mean, I'm excited.
Well, did you have a cup of coffee yesterday?
I
Probably
did not have coffee yesterday. That's how I
Ooh,
made
look at
$3
that.
million.
Boom.
I laid off the avocado toast and made $3 million, baby. Woo! It's a party.
What is avocado toast? I've never even had it.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
actually pretty good.
It is really good.
I mentioned avocados the other day, and some texter yelled at me for buying avocados because I'm supporting the cartel. And I'm like,
Oh,
What?
yes, I've heard
We
about
get avocados
that.
all the
Yes.
time. They're great in our salad.
apparently not anymore right now because the cartel has all the avocados, so you're just putting money in their pockets.
Yeah.
I get
so
mine from
that's-
Imperfect. I don't know what they do with them.
I feel like, I want to say to people like that, oh, really? And are you sure about every damn thing that you have?
I read that. I was like, wow, I never would have thought me talking about having avocado rolls and enjoying them, that would lead to somebody wanting to text the show to yell at me for supporting the cartel.
Look, I got no problems with people.
I switched to cucumbers. I'm like, I hope that's not bad.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
Watch out, here comes Big Cucumber.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like, funding the mafia now.
I just, when people get in your face about that stuff, it's like, what do you want me to do? I mean, that is a big world problem. I don't know what to tell you. And it makes me question everything. It's like, well, I didn't know until you said it. So now what? What if I go have this can of tuna? Am I in trouble? It's just like, I can't live this way. I can't live waiting for the next person to come along and tell me how what I'm doing is ruining the world on a global scale that I have no control over. I don't control the cartels. There's nothing I can do to stop that.
I wrote it back and said, I grow my own avocados. Leave me alone.
Oh, that's a great answer.
I don't. Spoiler alert, I don't grow my own avocados.
really?
But saying that for everything is amazing.
Yes, we
Right?
have to
I should
start.
do that from now on.
Yes, please.
And now I'm going to start looking on packages for basically cartel free.
Can we even grow avocados here?
You
I
could
think
grow
it's
a
an
stoner
avocado.
conversation.
I'm not sure.
You
I think it's super
could grow
sunny, isn't it?
an avocado plant.
Do you
but
plant that giant ass pit that's in the middle of it? Is that how we grow these things?
I've watched many a video because my mom wants to do this.
She wants to grow avocados?
Yes.
Is your mom in the cartel?
Wow. Well, I mean, is it a sleeper cell? I didn't know we had sleeper cell cartel people up here.
My mom is a very, very sweet lady. She would never, ever do that.
Your mom is, your mom, I don't know what your mom does. She's very mysterious.
No, you have to take off the actual outside of the avocado pit, let it soak in water or something, or get moist for a week. and then you can grow it in water, then you can plant it.
Oh, wow. Nature's got it's just like the pine cones. Like you need a fire in order to get the pine cones to do their job. And it's like, that seems extreme.
Yeah, it looks like the best places for avocados in the U.S. are Florida, California, and Hawaii.
Yeah, but obviously,
cartel. Yeah, well, I mean,
in Florida, there's a Florida cartel.
I'm glad the texter just texted saying, that was me, Steve. I was just messing with you. Damn, that troll must have hit home, huh? Damn it, I didn't know you were joking. I've been eating avocados these last few days, wondering if I'm hurting the world with the cartel. I'm glad I wasn't. I'm going back to my avocado rolls, BJ. Screw these cucumber rolls.
But I've heard that before. So even though the texter's joking, I have heard that whole cartel thing, and I have no idea how true it is or not because the internet.
Oh, I love the internet. I love the texters.
Yeah, I love America.
Yeah, he didn't put a winky face, so I thought he was telling the truth.
No tongue sticking out or nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
You really got to let us know. All right, it's time for Listeners on the Loose, which unfortunately is now, I guess the cartel's taken that over, so I'm not sure we can do it.
Apparently can't eat pistachios either. What the hell am I supposed to do with my life, BJ?
Well, the cartel's got the pistachios, too?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Apparently the limes, too. What am I
Vicky's mom, man, it's just like...
Oh, wow.
You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We'll take your calls, we'll take your texts at 917 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose, brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. That's right, man. This is your time to shine, but make sure you follow Steve's rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ. Show some energy, bring it. Otherwise, we're in that gong button. And we're going to have to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Oh, this is a good one. First text I just look at. It says, looking for moments that are both fuel.
When it's time for an adventure on the open highway, one quick call to American Family Insurance gets you headed in the right direction. Our travel peace of mind package is there if you encounter a bump in the road. From roadside assistance to rental car coverage, we have you covered. Find a local agent or get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
With pride and embarrassment, my most recent one, my son, 5 years old, walked up to an old man and said, everybody likes to wake up to a BJ.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fan of the show.
Big fan.
Training that kid well.
I'm sure the old man totally got the reference.
I know, right?
Yeah, and still a nice message. It's the universe telling the old man, look, either way, however you take this, you ought to wake up happier.
Dude, it wasn't like on the line of pride and embarrassment, but definitely leaning into like the embarrassment, like, oh man, I hope that the person on the other end of the phone didn't hear this. I was ordering some food to go, like we like to do. And as I'm trying to explain the order, Tatum's sitting right by me, but I try to get out of that room where she and the dog were so it wouldn't be so noisy. So I went to this other room we have that has like this big clock on the wall. And so Tatum follows me in there and then starts yelling, Daddy, big clock. But she doesn't.
Oh.
There's a certain letter in the word clock that she hasn't figured out just yet.
Oh,
no.
So she's yelling, Daddy, big clock. Daddy, big clock. As I'm trying to order our teriyaki.
Yeah.
And I'm just like.
That's,
I almost just hung up the phone.
Why is CPS delivering my teriyaki?
Our food and the
wow, that's that's the
clock.
Yeah, that's the wrong time for her to tell you what's in the room.
And she's saying it with such pride because she's learning how to put sentences fully together and communicate well, and like she sees this clock and wants to let everybody know that it's a big one.
Yeah,
man,
yeah, she did. She wanted to let the restaurant know, and then the restaurant.
I've since thrown that clock away.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Damn, you got to get locks on every door in that house. You really do. I'm telling you, through experience, she's just going to continue just to bust into every room she can. You got to get locks on.
This is on the first floor. It's very open floor kind of vibe.
Oh, then
there's no doors. It was just the other room that's away from the room that they were in.
Time to put doors everywhere.
Okay.
I mean, it's just
so the whole point of why we bought the house. Yeah. Let's just trash it.
Because they go everywhere where there's no place you can go unless you literally run out of the house. Otherwise, you got Daddy's big clock all day long.
Oh yeah, bathroom. I've had to get better at making sure I close it because she'll just follow me in and she just like looks at me as I'm trying to go to number one. and just points. He goes, Bubbles. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
like, go find your mother.
Yeah. I know. And right now it's adorable, but eventually you go, what age do I go, look, kid, you got to give me some privacy. That was a tough one for us because, who cares, if your kids ever saw you nude running around. But yeah, usually when it's parts time, wow, your parts are different than mine. It's like, okay, I think I need to cover up now.
Yeah, whenever she walks by, as I'm taking a shower, she'll walk into our bedroom and then she'll just kind of look up and just be like, something's different. I'm not sure what that is, but something's different. And I'm like, keep on going.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, kid.
I'm stuck in here now.
Oh, boy. Yeah. It's just this is not good. It is Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So it said, guys, the Slipknot show was totally insane last night. The stage was awesome, and they gave us a sneak peek of a new song. Corey also said to expect new music from them to drop within a month. I'm so excited. They also sent us some pics, but we don't get pictures on our text line. But somebody sent us some pictures on Facebook, and
my buddy
awesome.
Chase, he got to go to the show last night, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Another person said, I saw them last night. It was amazing. I've been waiting for them to come to town for years, and this was my first time seeing Slipknot. So worth the wait.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good-looking show right there.
They never disappoint. Every time we've had them at, Pain in the Grass, it's I've seen Slipknot a bunch, so I need to stick around, and I'll, watch one song, and then I realize I just finished watching the entire set because I'm like, it's just so good.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that, man. It's, again, Climate Pledge being a premier arena that we have, it's so good to hear that these shows are going off good for people.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that might be the heaviest show that's happened at Climate Pledge.
It's the heaviest one I can remember.
Yeah, I can't think of any other, big metal show. I mean, there's been a couple, good rock shows there, but, of that, level of just intensity.
It's really, I think it's fantastic. I understand, look, if you live down south, you live up north, you're kind of come on. But that's the whole idea of, a centrally located city. It's good to have a facility where they can come as opposed, because if you're in Tacoma, it's do I want to drive all the way to Everett and vice versa?
Yep.
Now, you have that good halfway point and a really premier facility.
Someone said, hey, how about them Seahawks? Geno Smith named #1 quarterback by Carroll. DK hanging out with Russell during his holdout, and Chris Carson pretty much done, in my opinion. I think he is. You don't want to get extremely physical with a plate in your neck. Well, this sounds like a very sad text.
Yeah, it sure does, yeah.
I don't think they're how about them Seahawks in a positive way. Well, Geno Smith hasn't been named the actual starter. He's just the front runner right now, which it was mini camp, and I think Pete Carroll even just said he remains ahead in the quarterback battle. But Drew Lock is not so far that he can't catch up. Although the latest rumors, I don't know if you've heard, of course, we got the Baker Mayfield ones that some people are still clinging on to. Yep. But then there's even talks that the 49ers are going to probably release Garoppolo, and a couple of sports experts, reporters and things like that are saying that he'd be a perfect fit here in Seattle.
Would he? With the system that we want to run, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what they're trying to do. Obviously, I know they want a running game, but
he's a short pass kind of guy. I think. He's not a terrible quarterback. He's a better option than who knows with Drew Lock, but he's a better option than Drew Lock and Geno Smith.
It's hard for me to know, Steve. It really, really is hard for me to know. The thing is can you win? I know I don't want to.
He scores with porn stars. Of course.
Okay. Well,
he took him. He didn't take him to, but he was the quarterback, and you still got to have a decent enough quarterback to get to the Super Bowl, and he took him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Thing is that I feel like it's a short-term fix. And maybe that's maybe that's it. I just got to get used to this being the sorbet season or two, and then maybe we'll finally get a quarterback that we can be happy with.
That's what I feel like this year is going to be, is hey, prove that you can be our guy. But if you're not, there's some good quarterbacks that are going to be in the draft this upcoming draft.
Yeah. That's why even though I was the only one high on Levi, because I just thought he was going to be another Levi. Russell Wilson.
He's not.
I can't let it go.
You know nothing about the man other than he's short. And you know his first name.
I heard what people said about him. They made a lot of comparisons. I read a couple articles, so it made it look like the guy was a somebody, but turns out he's not a somebody.
Do you remember his last name?
Lewis?
All right.
No, look at you.
Re-sign him.
Yeah, I had no idea. Levi Lewis. High on Levi. But I just want to feel good about, that important position. Or I want to feel good about the fact that we're going to have a stud defense. I just feel like without a good quarterback or without a stud defense, what can we be excited for as far as, just this is a growing, rebuilding season. I mean, how do you expect to go far in the playoffs if you don't have a stud quarterback or you don't have a great defense that can at least make up and have a mediocre quarterback?
The defense could be pretty deep. I think it's going to be a young defense. That's the thing. It's like there's some guys that they got from the draft that hopefully, it's hard to say because it hasn't always been the best track record with some of their draft picks, but a lot of people are high on everybody that was drafted this year. Not Levi, BJ, high on the actual draft.
Yeah,
picks.
they were. What you're saying is they weren't high like I was.
Right.
Yeah, that could be the big surprise. That could be something to get excited by.
You get Jamal Adams back, and also not only do you have a young defense, you also have a new defensive mind when it comes to their coaching, the approach that they're going to have with the defensive style. So I'm hoping Jamal Adams is finally going to be used in the way that he's best served. He's a unique player, and it didn't seem like he was playing all that to the best of his abilities with what's his face? Oh, that was the defensive coach last year.
Ken Norton?
Ken Norton, yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a lot of players had that, hey, we were very predictable on our defense. So maybe things will be better because they're going to be unpredictable.
And maybe that's what Tyler Lockett was referring to when he said that people don't even have to draw up any special stuff. They kind of know what we're doing already. And so he made those. So that's it. Maybe we will be less predictable, and therefore you're going to have to really watch film and not just do what other teams have done.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Once again, I see Russell Wilson posting how he loves his team.
I saw that too.
Oh, really?
I know. Yeah. I know you're not supposed to say, hey, I loved my ex better. But, man, I still want to hear you talk about how much you love your new team.
I also would like
to just unfollow him. I should do what D. Ted Smith did.
Wait, you're still following him?
I am. I keep telling myself not to, but I'm a jealous, bitter ex.
Well, Steve, just like Russell Wilson tweets, you can do anything you set your mind to.
Yeah.
You're right, Rev. Right now.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Going on my Twitter.
Is he Rich-splaining us? Is that what he's doing?
I thought he Russell-splained us.
Russ-splaining,
Yeah.
Russell, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Rev, unfollowed.
Yeah, look at that. Right. You manifested it.
I need to manifest my own destiny. And that destiny is moving on.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I'm not unfollowing him on Instagram yet, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, baby steps.
Tomorrow.
I also would like to make a suggestion to the good folks at the Marketplace at Factoria, aka the Factoria Mall, the Nike store. Is there a chance you can get that giant painting of Russell and Ciara off the wall? Is it possible you can do that for me, please?
Really?
I was at the mall yesterday, and I walked by, and they're kind of holding each other, Russell and Ciara, on this giant wall outside the Nike store, and I'm just like, okay. Well, look, it's probably a national promotion. I get it. But you know what? It's too soon.
Can we get like a big sticker of Drew Lock's face and his attractive?
Yeah, get like a fat head of someone else and just stick it up there
over Russ's face, and then stick Drew's girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure which she is, but a picture of her and her face over Ciara.
Yes,
problem solved.
I was thinking about that myself, but I thought the mall would get mad at me for vandalism. So I'm
not saying spray paint anything on it.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you put anything on walls that you don't own, or probably whether spray painting or fatheads, I don't think it's allowed. They have a slime time in there, so even if they just put like a bunch of slime over their heads, just so I don't have to see them, that works for me too. A little slime factory action, that's fine. Yeah, and I don't know if that's the way it is in all the Nike stores around the area, but that one there, it's just like, what? And I had seen that tweet you saw, Steve. I saw that I love my new team. And then I walked by the two of them smugly looking at me from that big wall fat head thing and I'm like, I'm done.
Last time I went to the Seattle Premium Outlets in the Marysville to Tulalip area, I went to the Nike store, and outside they still had a picture. It wasn't the same one you're talking about, but it was a picture of Russell Wilson. And I found myself saying, like Steve, I'm like, ugh. It's I was just disgusted.
Like the ex. Fart on it.
Yeah.
I'm a little short, so it's a little hard to get up there, but I'll find a way.
It rises, though.
Yeah, I believe in you.
As do farts.
It was so nice to see that over the years. Like, oh, there's the Nike store, and there's our guy right outside in the front. No, and it's not nice anymore.
Yeah, we got to take those pictures off the wall, man.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a country song or a Nickelback song? I don't even know.
Look at that.
Kid Rock. I don't even know anymore.
Oh, jeez.
I'll take your pictures off the wall.
Nice. You pick the topic. You guide the show. It is Listeners on the Loose. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. More of your calls and more of your texts at 939 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Ooh, we got a question for BJ's kids. If only they worked with us, we would be able to ask them this question.
All righty.
Oh, man. Oh, look, there's Joe and Sarah. They happen to be here.
Whoa.
This is perfect.
Okay.
All right. BJ's kids, as they texted. I want to know, which TV dad is your dad most like?
Ooh.
With Father's Day right around the corner. This is perfect.
Oh, man, I think this one's easy for me. It really is like Homer Simpson to Bart Simpson.
Well, who's Bart? Both of you?
I'm Bart and he's Homer.
So who's Sarah?
Lisa?
No. She doesn't play the saxophone.
Yeah. Maggie?
Maggie?
She's
The baby.
No,
Yeah,
Maggie-
she's a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sarah talks. Maggie doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Homer? You like donuts?
Yeah, I do. I think it's very fair. That's a good call.
I feel like a lot of people are going to say, like, if you ask anyone, like, who's your dad? If you had to say your dad is most like a TV dad, who is it? I feel like Homer would be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
I feel like
I would like to be some of the other dads that people might think of. I know that folks really love Jack Pearson, who I never watched on. I don't know This Is Us. I've never watched the show, but Milo Ventimiglia plays that, and of course Rev and I know him from the show Heroes.
Oh, yeah, from Heroes, yeah.
But he was, I guess, a very beloved father on that show, and a lot of people really think, oh, my dad's just like him.
All right, Sarah.
You know, at first I was trying to think of like a really angry dad, but that would have been, I guess, back in the day. And then the first one that kind of came to mind was Peter Griffin.
Oh,
yes.
Wow,
that's
yeah.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
Al Bundy mixed with Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
I was trying to think about, like, that was like where I was thinking for my dad. I'm like, my dad's kind of a cheesy dad, like Danny Tanner from Full House. But if Danny had anger issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, who is
Wow.
it's like Danny Tanner meets
Red Foreman.
Red Foreman.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's it. Because I got a little Red Foreman in me, too, as a matter of fact. That's a good call from that 70s show, yeah.
I forgot about him. That's a great TV dad.
Great call.
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah.
I'd be for me, I think right now I'm definitely like Daddy Pig from Peppa Pig.
that really?
Yeah.
What are the qualifications for that?
He's kind of the goof of the family.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it seems to fall in line just perfectly. Thinks he's a little bit of an expert at stuff and really isn't.
Oh, yeah. I guess really that does sound like you.
I'm a bit of an expert in making pizza, and then he burns the pizza or something stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of fall in line for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel good. Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson, I feel really good
Those
about
are
it.
good ones. I
They're
feel
not bad.
Peter Griffin's an idiot.
Who would you want as your TV dad if you had to pick one?
Oh, wow.
Phil Dunphy from Modern Family.
He's got a good heart, you know.
He does have a good
He's
heart.
kind of a dork, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's very, very endearing.
I heard Phil, and I thought you were going to say Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince.
he would've
I'm
been
like,
a good one, too.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
because not only is he a good person who
Yeah.
looked out for his family, but also rich as all hell.
Yeah.
Because I was going to go with like Mr. Drummond that dates things from different strokes, but you saw how his kids turned out, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be
It's
under
all
that
of them
watch.
were wrecked,
Like he had
yeah.
money, but he was a terrible dad.
That's
One kid
that's
had
a
an
good
eating
point.
disorder. Other one went to jail. The other one was like dressing up as a train engineer and doing a 900 number. Like things are strange.
I'm trying to think of I can't think of his name. Gosh.
What show?
Good Times, Jimmy Walker's dad, and of course he's a great actor too, and I'm blanking on his name on the show as well as the actor's name. I don't even know if he's still with us. But I really always felt like he was a good dad. I mean, he was hard-nosed, he had to work for a living, but he really loved those kids.
James Evans Sr., played by John Amos.
Yes, John Amos. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a good dad. I related to the situation as far as like didn't have a lot of money, didn't have and the family wasn't thought well of because of just the whole time and everything. And I felt like I related a little bit to that, and I was like, yeah, you know what, he's a good dad. Guy works hard, but he has a tender side to him. So I always like James Evans.
I don't know. John Amos played the dad in Coming to America. He was kind of a jerk.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yeah, that's
Remember?
right.
He owned
forgot
was it
about
McDougal's or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then I guess I'm going to go with Gus from Breaking Bad. I think he's a good father.
I was going to say, why not Walter White at that point? He did,
Right.
Look at all the
Walter
stuff he
White.
did for his family.
That's
Oh,
right, it was
spoiler
for
alert,
his
he
family.
didn't do it for his family.
Oh,
he
that's
did it because
right.
he wanted to.
For about 4 3/4 of a season, it was for his family, and then eventually.
Dude, you got okay, spoiler alert, obviously, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, sorry. But
Yeah, sorry.
Is that not one of the greatest moments when he finally just said, I didn't do it for the family? Because that was like the running thing for the entire time. And
Yeah.
that's always when people say, I do all this with my family. And it's like, no, he's selfish. He did it for himself.
You just gave me goosebumps when you
Right?
said that. Because, it was epic.
Yeah.
Like that was some of the that was like whoever that writer was that came up with that part and then also the acting was phenomenal in it with Bryan Cranston, but whoever came up with that line, man, give him all the Emmys.
Dude, that was set up from the beginning, I'm sure, because
Yes.
he was such a loser. You know, I mean, as far as how he just seemed to be. From that first episode,
Yes.
and so you can really believe that he lied all the way through, and it really was about him just feeling like a somebody.
I want to go back and I bet that's on YouTube, that clip, because that scene right
Yeah,
there
it's a
was
great
just
scene.
like that was the scene that made that show. Like that took it to a whole other level.
Getting ready to re-binge it. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Are you?
Well, yeah, because Better Call Saul is wrapping up soon, and I want to go right from the last episode of Better Call Saul into the first episode of Breaking Bad, since it's a prequel, and because especially I want to see Saul now that I've seen the backstory. I want to revisit Saul and see how well they did, because he really is very different on Saul for the most part. We're starting to see in this last season Saul becoming Saul, like the Saul we know from Breaking Bad. So I'm excited because it's a hell of a good show anyway.
Bro, we just finished The Flight Attendant yesterday. Remember we were talking yesterday about how they grabbed us back with The Flight Attendant. Because there were a couple episodes in the season that weren't all that great, kind of clunkers in my eyes, but then it started getting good again.
Yeah.
Have you finished it?
No, we're
Okay.
still on episode. We plan tomorrow to watch a couple more.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I have to just say
Is she still a flight attendant?
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Oh,
I said
wow.
that.
That's
But I will
I
say.
thought that was a joke, and turns out it may actually be a spoiler. Wow.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I will say that the last episode was next level. It was phenomenal.
I think it's amazing how much you were hating on that show to the point you gave it up, and now you went back and said, man, am I glad I stuck with it.
And we only went back because we ran out of things on our DVR. So it was like, wow. Because we don't have a ton of shows that we DVR. My DVR is mostly just wrestling and Frosty the Snowman. We can't delete that because at least once a week we watch it.
Yeah. I would like to actually redeem myself because yesterday I recommended something that was really bad.
Yes.
And I would like to say that I'm really liking a show called The Man Who Fell to Earth on Showtime. And Rev, I can't think of the actor's name. He played Baron Mordo in the Doctor Strange movies. And I can't think of his name, but he's terrific in this. And you know what? I mean, the title says it all. And it's a man who falls to Earth, and then he's trying to get Earth to do good stuff. And that's all I'm going to say. But I love the journey. And
What's the Rotten Tomatoes on this one?
I feel like it should be good, and you and your wife may like it. Now, it's modern day times, slight sci-fi, but really modern day times. But it's a great fish out of water story kind of a thing. But the acting is what gets me, and the way he plays this part. Do we have his name, Rev? No.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, boy, he's so good.
Oh, the reviews aren't bad. I guess so. At least you're not going to go back on your word, BJ. It's got 85%.
If the reviews were bad on The Man Who Fell to Earth, I wouldn't know. And it's based on a book, and I think David Bowie did the movie years ago.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I thought he did The Man Who Sold the World.
Well, he did, but also The Man Who Fell to Earth was a 1976 movie that he was in.
Oh, he likes to be a man.
Yeah.
Who fell to
Who does
things
stuff.
and
Yeah,
does
and sells stuff.
It's an old story that I think they may have updated a little bit, but I'm really liking it. It's a slow burn, but I think it's really the portrayal of the character that's which got me. So hopefully that will redeem myself for recommending The Bubble.
I do like this one text that said, Steve, I think you're more of Bluey's dad, willing to do anything to entertain the kids, but also likes to let them learn.
Oh, yeah.
Take it.
Aw.
All right.
You got to work on that accent now.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah, I'm Bluey's dad.
Well, we have to answer this question. What do Ryan Castle and a bartender have in common? I'm going to tell you at 9:50. And also, you can catch these guys at Pain in the Grass. Get tickets and info at KISW.com. It's Queensryche on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and a bartender have in common?
I work in a bar.
Yeah, what we call this place?
Yeah, kind of like that.
No, but at home, I work in a bar.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh,
You do all
right.
Your microphone is set up right where your bar is, isn't it?
I literally set it up in the way. It seemed like the only appropriate place when I came home in March of 2020 to do a radio show.
That's a good. You're right. I couldn't think of a better place to put you.
It kind of just stuck there.
Steve never forgets the tip with either, according to one texter.
Whoa.
Thanks, Steve.
I am a good tipper.
Whoa, and whoa. Well, Dating.com just did a survey on summer dating.
Never gives the shaft.
Yeah.
On
Never.
Wow. According to the poll, 30% of single people have hooked up with a bartender before. Well, that is not me. I always thought that would be kind of cool to do, but never just seemed like it would ever be within my wheelhouse when I was
Now, is
a
it
young
hooked
man.
up with the bartender when you're a patron of the bar, or is it you hooked up with a bartender?
Oh, that's a good question. I just assumed it meant you walked into the bar and you were able to sweet talk your way into that situation.
That's what I'm
How many
picturing,
of those
too.
bartenders were dudes?
Yeah, well, I couldn't hook up with them either. Yeah. Tell you what, though, I could hook you up with a 12-pack. Ryan Castle's got that next.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
We had that whole band thing where you got to pick your instrument. And I fought tooth and nail to have BJ buy me a trumpet. I was so pumped. It took me a week to learn how to play hot cross buns.
Badly. Oh, dude, we heard that all around the house, and this is killing me.
We should get you a trumpet, and you should try and redeem yourself.
I'll play it at Pain in the Grass.
No. Let's not get crazy there, Shell.
BJ and Migs mornings on The Rock 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I file for bankruptcy, do I have to appear in court? That makes me nervous.
Going to court is never something that's easy to do. However, when you file bankruptcy, you usually only have to attend one hearing at the courthouse. Of course, I'll be there with you. And when you go to court, it's not before the judge. It's actually with the trustee or the trustee's attorney. One of the things that's critical in a bankruptcy is that you give your attorney and the court all of your information. You list all of your assets and all of your creditors. That's what we're trading for your discharge, is your true and honest disclosure of your assets and liabilities. And so the court hearing is just usually about a 5-minute deal where you show up and reaffirm and swear that all the information you've given the court and your attorney is correct.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Julian Greening here from Bellingham Ford Lincoln with some exciting news. The order banks have opened for the 2023 models and we have great deals for you. Ford F-150, Bronco Sport or Ranger, and we will lock in your price, lock in your 500 rebate, and lock in your interest rate at 2.9 for 60 months on approval of credit. Custom build the vehicle you want and don't worry about price increases or rate hikes. Come see us at Bellingham Ford Lincoln on 1820 James Street or at bellinghamfordlincoln.com.